Welcome to RNFC, the official Rebellious Noise Football Channel, where you'll find content such as goal hanging, live match reactions, as well as news and opinions on all aspects of the beautiful game. We will also cover some of the more cultural side of the sport, such as kit reviews, football nostalgia, and in-depth historical pieces on those who built the game that we love today. So win, lose or draw, make sure you subscribe before the full-time whistle blows.
Right, hello and welcome to the Rebellious Noise Football Channel. Not as good of a mood as the other day, Dan. I'm Scott, I'm joined by Dan, and we are here to talk about the England versus Scotland game. We haven't spoken at all since the game ended. Obviously, the last game, if you saw our review of that, the Croatia game, we were actually together. We watched it together. Lucas was in that video as well. So we had a lot of bouncing back and forth on the way back to recording. This time around, we haven't even spoke yet, but I can imagine what you're feeling because I think it's what the rest of the nation are feeling. And that is severe disappointment and just meh.
Yeah, just so I mean, I'm just a bit surprised really that at the so a little bit of the team selection, but then I guess it was probably 90%, I guess, the same team that he'd put out in the original match against Croatia. But the changes he brought in, obviously, Reece James for Kyle Walker and Luke Shaw for Kieran Trippier. Didn't really feel as though, they were warranted changes. I mean, if anything, if you're looking at from the Croatia game, I would have maybe, and it sounds bold, but I would have probably taken Kane out. I don't think Kane has played well in either of the two games. He looks totally off the pace. I honestly would not start him against Czech Republic. 100% give Calvert-Lewin a game. But I think overall, I mean, yes, it's a disappointing result. Again, hitting the post within the first hitting the post again within the first sort of 10 minutes. So we were unlucky there. Pickford had to make a few really good saves. It was one of those games, I think it was quite cagey, but both teams had chances that they could have won the game. In fairness, though, Scotland did seem more likely to win it at some stages. And I feel as though our decision-making was terrible. We have got a comment in as well. Kane is shocking from Matt Ball. I don't think he's not on the pace. 100% he is off the pace. Like whether the whole Eriksen thing has got in his head or something. I mean, because obviously the England game was after what happened there, but I really have no idea. And the fact that obviously, he looks so bad. So I'm surprised. What I would have done is when they brought Grealish on, they took off Foden. So I would have maybe just taken a bit of a gamble, take Kane off, put Grealish on, Grealish out on the left, put Sterling through the middle. That's how I would have gone, but I don't feel as though he's utilising his subs bench enough as well. You've got 5 subs to choose. He brought on 2. He brought on Grealish, which I think the whole country was probably raring for, and then Marcus Rashford. I think that if you're going to take Kane off and bring Rashford on, I probably would have done that 10 minutes, 15 minutes before he did. But
I think it was still shocking that they took Kane off in the first place. I mean, not shocking by his performance, because I agree. I'm glad he got taken off, and I hope he doesn't play in the Czech Republic game. Now, this isn't me being an Arsenal fan, not like a Spurs player. I think Harry Kane's an amazing player, and I'm so glad he plays for my national team. But he's just not been on it. He has not been on it. And I think I already felt that Czech Republic game, by then it'd probably be wrapped up in some sense, and there might be a chance to be playing for second place. Let's be honest, it's probably the better kind of route for us, right? But at the same time, there's something to be said for just winning your games convincingly. And you know what? If you come up against a France or a Portugal, well, you've won your games convincingly. Now, we're almost in danger of playing poorly and then coming up against France and Portugal. It's just is really worrying to me. Like, there is no way, and I kind of felt like it in the Croatia game, even though there were really good things about the Croatia game. I think I said on that one as well, like, we didn't look like a team that's going to win the Euros, though. Like, we played well. That was a good, we did well to beat Croatia, but we didn't look like we're going to win the Euros. And we definitely don't look like it now. Like, it was, I mean, we've said all along, if we played a team of, like, I think they're the third lowest ranked team in the Euros, right? If we played a team of that ilk any other time, we should beat them, right? And I did say, and I think we all know, like, Scotland is different, though. They're going to bring a fire and energy just because of what they're like as Scottish people and Scottish players. But then, the kind of rivalry, almost derby-like atmosphere, right? So you add that to it. But even still, a 0-0 draw, I mean, it was quite even for the most part. But in the last 20 minutes, if anyone was going to win, it was going to be Scotland. And that's disappointing,
Yeah, they did look more likely in all fairness. But yeah, I think the overall emotion, I guess, from everyone is just disappointment. I mean, don't get me wrong, as 0-0s go, it was a decent 0-0. Like, there were chances. Yeah. Scotland had chances. I thought, honestly, I mean, I think Pickford played well. The defence seemed solid. I mean, he did say, Southgate, that Maguire was going to get a game, but then I think, stick with the keeper and the two centre-backs that you've got. They've not put a foot wrong at the moment. Just don't keep chopping and changing your fullbacks. You want to just keep a consistent backline. And again, Declan Rice was pretty quiet, and Phillips did well. So,
yeah,
I think that's kind of spine of the team. He's kept the spine of the team exactly the same. So with obviously the Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips, with then Mason Mount and Harry Kane, he's kept that exactly the same. And obviously the players that were out wide. Did he play? Because he's got Foden, and did he play Sterling in the first game?
Yeah, Sterling scored, didn't he?
Oh yeah. No, I didn't know if he'd come off the bench.
No, yeah, he played from the start. Yeah, but I mean, I think that's the thing. We're looking at it with 5 subs, all these attacking players. Sancho at least makes the squad this time. You think, should he come on? I think Rashford should have come on earlier, but replacing Kane maybe early would have been really shocking. Although when he came off, I think it was about right. But maybe the argument is that he doesn't want to change it up too much because we ain't going to get the flow. Like, we didn't really get the friendly games together to work out our forward line either, did we? So it's kind of tough in that sense. Like, we're kind of building, like any other squad, I think in the Premier League, for example, you'd be like, what's wrong with changing pretty much all your attacking players on 60, 70 minutes? That's a normal thing to do. But I think he might be thinking, well, this team haven't even played together. So, if I change them now, it might be too much. But but then at the same time, it just wasn't working. Like, Grealish, as expected, brought a bit of a spark. As much as I like Rashford, nothing really happened when he came on. And then after a while, it was like Grealish just went down to the level of the rest of the team, where it's like, well, all of a sudden he starts giving away the ball and starts running into pockets that he's not going to get out of. Do you know what I mean? And I know he does that a lot to win fouls, and he did win us a few good fouls. But again, what did we do with it?
Not much, really. I mean, do you think we should have had a penalty as well with the Sterling one?
Right? Here's the VAR. I think the VAR, people moan about VAR, but it's the people that run VAR that are the problem. The technology isn't the problem. It's the people. It's the same human error making that same poor decision, right? But if you put it that way, if we go by the standards of what we're used to, which are poor standards, right, in the Premier League, we probably would have got a penalty for Sterling getting stamped on, and we've probably got a penalty for maybe a handball, because that's how it's going in the Premier League.
Oh, the McTominay one, yeah.
Like, the ball could have whacked into your arm. You were moving it. It could have broke your arm. Your hand could have fallen off, and they still give the penalty against you. That's the way it goes in the Premier League these days. But yeah, when it goes to better officiating, they're like, well, that's crap. That ain't gonna cut it. Like a hand possibly going near it. Whereas again, in the Premier League, we might have got that, both of those. But again, they're soft. We shouldn't be relying on that.
And I mean, in the Portugal-Germany game, they've got the English referee there. So obviously that's Bruno's penalty already in the bank. So he's already got that before we kick off. So
for him, yeah.
Yeah, so we've got one more comment here as well from Matt, as well as what's your starting 11 for the Czech Republic game?
See, I already thought this was the game to switch it up on, because I thought no matter what was going, I think we just feel deflated, because if you would have told me before we had 4 points going into the third game, I'd be pretty pleased, And
you'd have thought it the other way around, though, wouldn't you? Really?
Yeah, but I could see this being a draw though because of our like it could be cagey. Like I think a lot of us thought it could be that, but we're disappointed that it was. So either way, I would have put. I think Calvert-Lewin, and I think but the way that Kane's played, it's just not working. I think Kane coming off the bench, like I don't know if you saw because I think you were on your way home, but the ITV analysis, they were basically digging Kane out and saying like he's not on it, and he's not. And I hope Kane watches it. From seeing the interviews that Kane's done before, where he says he wants to be like Messi and Ronaldo. He watched the Last Dance with Chicago Bulls and Michael Jordan. He wants to be like that, and he admires to be like Tom Brady, and he wants to be the main guy, right? And he's such a great player, like he could be. But any of those guys would watch back that analysis and get fire under him. And that's what I hope happens with Kane. People say, has he got an injury we don't know about? Or the transfer was playing in his head and whatever else. Is he just not getting the service? Is it the way we're playing? Who knows? But when he's getting it, he's not getting the ball much either. But I think he had it more in this game than he did last. The only thing I remember in the Croatia game, and you look at it and go, fair play, because you rammed into the post. At least, it looks like, kind of valiant. But in this game, it was just with all of them. It weren't just him though. It was slow, man. Like people releasing the ball too early and people passing it in that. Like even to be fair, Jack Grealish ended up passing to look like a sub. People just and everyone's talking about the occasion. It's like, mate, if you can't get up for Scotland at Wembley. And even Southgate come out and he was like, oh, it's a young squad, maybe we've got to learn how to manage these things. It's, then all this, and everyone's talking about the press and whatever else. But if you can't handle this, then how the heck are we going to win a final? How are we going to beat Spain if we get to them in the round 16? It's just, it's not good enough. Anyway, I know I went on a tangent. I was meant to talk about 11, but I'd go with pretty much the same, but I changed Calvert-Lewin up top. I'd give Grealish, again, I'd do a few changes anyway. I would have given Grealish a go. I think Foden maybe should get more time, but coming off the bench, I don't want to take him out of it. For me, like it's the game to change things up. Just again with the Belgian game in the World Cup. The third game we basically played our B team. I'd play our B team because let's not pretend we want to get through and face France. So it doesn't matter for me. If we either have a really great performance and we win it and we top the group and we go into the round 16 against a tough team with fire and passion after what we just did, or we have a bit of a boring game and we draw or whatever else with our B team and we go through the better kind of route, But then again, we had that in the World Cup and then it probably didn't set us up for the Croatia game properly because we weren't ready for big opposition, What do you think?
Yeah, so for me, I would go with, I think Pickford will stay in goal. Then I think back four, I feel we'll go with, so wait, I'm trying to think. So if I'm going on what I would play or what Southgate would play. So if I'm going on what I would do, I would go probably Trippier right back. I would go, if he's fit, I'd probably say stick Maguire in for a game. Maguire and Cody at centre-back maybe, just to give him a bit of game time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, Chilwell at left-back. I think you've got to try and keep... I think Phillips has played well, so I would probably give him a bit of a rest. So maybe Declan Rice still stay in there alongside Henderson if he's fit. Yeah. Or even Henderson and Bellingham, like you said, like the B team. Henderson, Bellingham, and then I reckon so Calvert-Lewin up front, and then behind him, I would go with probably a combination of Sancho, Rashford, and Grealish.
Yeah, see, I didn't really know, but that is probably what I would do, to be fair. Because you're right, I think Maguire, again, felt like this would be the game. I don't think you bring him into the knockout stage. Like this one, it kind of doesn't matter, like we're going through. It's so. Yeah, what position at the moment. It's like if we go through top, like say, then yeah, all right, we're amped up. We've gone through top. We've got a bit of belief about us. If we go through seconds, we get a lesser team anyway. So like either way, it feels about the same thing.
Yeah, because I know Southgate said about playing Maguire in this one, but I think that may have been him just being a bit overconfident, thinking that we'd have the game wrapped up by about the hour mark. Because a lot of say like the groups that I'm a part of, when like people have given predictions, I'm seeing like 3-0s, 4-0s, and it's like was it really going to be that comfortable? You know, I think a lot of people had seen the Scotland game against Czech Republic and just assumed like, oh, England are just going to have to turn up and that they're going to win the game. But, you know, Scotland are always going to be up for this fixture. You know, no matter how much, you know, we sugarcoat it, that performance from England tonight just did not cut it, you know. They're the kind of games that you need to be winning at this level. We've got Matt's actually given us his team. So he's going with Pickford in goal, Saka at left back, Stones, Mings or Maguire, Trippier, Phillips, Bellingham, Grealish, Mount, Foden and Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah, big change. I mean, I wouldn't be against that. I wouldn't be against changes because again, what are we playing for? To top the group again? Yeah, I mean, we might draw or lose and still go through, and that might knock our confidence. That might not be good anyway. But then, so you know, no matter who we face, it could be a Sweden, you know, and it's just as tough as a France because we're not at it. You know what I mean? So maybe it's better to get a convincing win. But then again, that team should win. That team should be able to beat Czech Republic.
Yeah, they've not looked fantastic, have they? So, I mean, I'm just quickly having a quick look at the group as it stands at the moment. You know, I'm just trying to see exactly like what everyone would need. Because I know Croatia are on the same points as us, I think. Or are they? No, they're on a point less.
Yeah, them and Scotland are both on 1 point, and us and the Czech Republic are on 4. I think we're ahead in goal difference, and Croatia get ahead over Scotland because Scotland haven't scored a goal yet.
Right. Ah, here we go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Czech Republic top at the moment, England second. Yeah, so 1 goal we've scored. I mean, I suppose we could say one of the positives, I reckon, is that we kept another clean sheet. That's one good thing.
That's what Mings was saying.
That's obviously the defensive side of it. We're seeing, and I think Phillips playing in front of that back four just looks so comfortable there. You know, we obviously went through years when we had Gerrard and Lampard, and they both wanted to be like attacking style midfielders. I feel like you can afford to play 2 attacking midfielders if you've got someone like a Phillips to sit in front of that back four and protect him, because he's played centre half for Leeds. He can easily just slide back in as a third centre back if we need to.
But Rice is playing too similar a role. Then that's why we're probably not passing it towards Kane enough. You know, sideways passing tonight.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it just seems like, we've got players that can run with the ball, but it just seems like the decision making in the final third is just terrible. Like no one seems to want to have a shot.
Like there was a time where Kane could have took a shot outside the box, right? Yeah, it was a chance he would have gone sky high. Like they're risky shots, right? But the only other option he had was to run a bit further, let them close them down more, and have a poor low shot anyway, which is exactly what he did. It was just like you should have just took your chance when there was a bigger window, and you could have actually done it. All right, you're further out, it would have been tough. But like you said, it's like they don't wanna, you know. I know, like don't get me wrong, like the rain, you can say the rain, the occasion. Scotland aren't exactly any old team, you know, like they've been better lately anyway. We can't take away from Scotland. I think they performed very, very well tonight as well. And then, the rivalry, there were a lot of factors to it, but at the end of the day, England didn't do enough.
100% we didn't, no. So going on the Czech Republic game, Schick scares me.
After that goal.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing is as well, it's like Jordan Pickford is another one of these keepers that likes coming quite far off his line at times. So he just needs to be careful.
I thought he played very well today. That low save. Made. Again, a few risky times on the ball. I felt not as bad as the Croatia game, but a few times I was a bit like, let's get rid of it.
I think his handling's improved dramatically as well. Like, you know, he seems like he's, you know, his decision making when he's coming out and either punch it or catch it, I think he's got a lot better with that. And
a lot of his punches tonight were incredible, to be fair.
I just feel as though what he needs, and this is where Southgate could potentially go wrong, he just needs to have a solid defence in front of him. Because as you know from like the Arsenal days, good teams are built on a solid back five. You know, because you went through the years with obviously like Seaman in goal, and then Dixon, Winterburn, Adams, Bold, and then when Bold went Keown. You know, we did the same pretty much. You know, we had years where we had like Schmeichel. We had the treble year obviously with Schmeichel, and then it was Neville, Stam, Johnson, and Dennis Irwin. You know, and we had those defenders there for a while, and then
freedom to the players in front, like when you got your Beckhams and your Scholes, you can
exactly.
Obviously, with us Henri or / Ian Wright with Bergkamp, you know, Petit Vieira, whoever else. They like there's a chance in Overmars, you know, like there's a chance to mop up at the back. Like it gives them the freedom to play that style because they've got if they lose it, Keown's bringing it back to him. Yap Stam's bringing it back to him. Do you know what I mean? Like someone's going to sweep up at the back. And again, like we can say like the Champions League and Europa League and fitness and all that, but we're not the only team. Like, yes, we had a lot of players in it, but we're not the only team that got injury woes and stuff like that, you know? So we should, I wish Maguire was playing from the start, you know? I wish he was paired up with Stones from the start. I wish they had a not pre-season, but 3 friendly games together as well. But it's just not the way it is. But what we've got personnel-wise as a backup, again, should be good enough.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, and the player that's come in from Mings, I think he's performed admirably. You know, he's done really, really well when he's come in. But do you know what it is? I honestly think Southgate doesn't know his best 11, and you can't go into a tournament not knowing your best 11.
But is that partly? I think he'd put it down to not having a chance to use his, because even still.
That was his choice, though.
We had a lot of injuries in March. You know, like Sterling weren't even around in March. I think it was November. Like, there's been a lot of times, but again, we can't be the only side that have had those issues.
The thing is, I mean, he was the one I think that made the decision not to play any of the City or Chelsea players in the friendlies.
Yeah.
Now, if you know that the City players and the Chelsea players are going to be part of your starting 11 at the team, then you need to make sure that you are playing those players in the build-up, essentially, to it. So
yeah, we were worried about it, weren't we, when we did the reviews of the friendly games like that? You know, this is all well and good, but like, this ain't the team, you know. And the team needed to have played, and they haven't, you know. So for me, I'm all about mixing out for the Czech game. I really do think, you know. I don't think Harry Kane should play. I think he should come off the bench, though. I think he should. I don't think you should knock him completely, take him out of it fully. I think if he had scored in this game, he might have not played in the next one. You know, the full 90 to be like, look, we're through. You know, we'll give you 5 minutes maybe at the end. But I think now, just don't bring it on to the last 20 minutes so he can come on with that bit between his teeth, you know, a bit angry about things and think, no, I'm going to show you what I can do.
And you got to think as well, he's not actually played a full 90 minutes at this tournament yet as well. So, you know, it's just
true.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously he's had his troubles with injuries. You know, there may be some like personal stuff going on. We've got here. Who would we potentially face if we come third?
Yeah, I can't remember. Is it this group with Spain, Sweden, Slovakia, or something? Is that the group?
Possibly. I know that we did a thing where we did a permutation where if England won the group and Scotland came third, then potentially we could meet them again in the quarterfinals.
Right.
But
man, look at it now. There's a chance Croatia don't go through. You know.
Yeah. Mad. Considering obviously they were the World Cup finalists as well, just a couple of years ago as well. So. So I think it probably is the Sweden team. I think it all depends. I think there's a load of different things that it comes up as depending on which group the four go through from. So it all depends on. Yeah, I think there's a whole big table of it. So if it's A, B, C, and D, then you face a different team. If it's B, C, D, and E, you know, whichever teams finish, it's a bit awkward, but
I mean, so part of me now that we've got to this stage, I'm thinking if we come second, it ain't too bad. But then again, if we ain't got no kind of fire going into even a team like Sweden, you know, like who we did beat in the World Cup, what if it's not enough? You know, like really we should be convincing in these matches.
Very true. Yeah, we should be. I mean, when we're facing a lower team like Scotland, we need to literally put our foot down and just not come off the gas. You need to be going out and winning games like that, 3-4 nils. The Croatia game you can understand, 1-0. Like not being funny, but you could have easily taken Declan Rice out tonight and put in someone more attacking. So
yeah, I think the Croatia game was about the points. Today was about being silky and getting the goals and building confidence. And the fact we didn't do it is a real worry for me.
Here we go. So Matt said on your video, Scotland play Poland. So that group, is that the group? Poland, is that Poland, Spain, Sweden, Slovakia? Is that group?
Is that that sounds a pretty strong group. I don't know.
So is that group? We've got a comment as well from someone you may know, Jamie Warren. I totally agree. Pre-match celebrations has got me so tired. I need bed. Yeah, to be fair, I think it is a bit past your bedtime, mate. Anyway, but. So, Matt's confirmed. It is these.
Okay, cool.
The thingy one.
Well, I mean, I don't want to be too down. I guess it was a draw, and like you said, clean sheet. We've got to take some positives in it, but I just hope this fires up the team. I hope Harry Kane comes back and thinks, you know what, I need to step up. You know what I mean? And Grealish get a start or something in the next game.
The way I look at it, though, is if you can't get fired up for a Scotland game, you're not going to get fired up for Czech Republic.
Yeah, maybe it's a bit too late. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, depends on if someone in that group gets enough points to go through. Yeah, I think that there is a big table thing of how it works out, but I think it's the four best placed third. Yeah, it's a really complicated table. But
do that. How can you finish third and go through?
I think the thing is, or if you're going to do it the way that they're trying to do it with more teams, then what you need to do is not put it as 24, just put it as 32. So then you've got 8 groups, top 2 go through. You've got your round of 16.
Well, you said it used to be the quarters straight after the groups, isn't it?
Yeah, because there was only 16 teams, and then instead of
it's if you can't fill it out, just do that.
Yeah, just go to 32. It's easy then, because then you've got your round of 16. Winner of A plays runner-up of B.
Yeah.
All that.
I remember Euro 96 so fondly because we only played about 4 games. 5 games, didn't it? The 5th game we went out. We got through to Spain, beat them in the quarters because there was no round of 16. Holland was in our group. Everyone remembers that, but it's only because it was in our group. Scotland was in our group as well. So,
and everyone seems to forget the Switzerland game as well. Yeah, the 1-1 starting out. Yeah.
Oh, well, anyway, we'll be back here to talk all about England, Czech Republic. Hopefully, we'll be in a better mood. But, we'll see how it goes. Again, if you're watching live or on demand, thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, check out more of our football content. We are the Rebellious Noise Football Channel, a brand new channel from Rebellious Noise. So, please subscribe and check out more of our football content. And join us for the next post-match live reaction. That we'll be doing. It's Tuesday, right? Tuesday's the Czech game?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just say that.
It is Tuesday, and we will hopefully be checkmate there.
Yeah, checkmate. We'll be back here on Tuesday to talk about a game. And again, hopefully in better spirits. But thank you very much for joining us. And please subscribe for more content.
Cheers. Take care. Bye.
Welcome to RNFC, the official Rebellious Noise Football Channel, where you'll find content such as goal hanging, live match reactions, as well as news and opinions on all aspects of the beautiful game. We will also cover some of the more cultural side of the sport, such as kit reviews, football nostalgia, and in-depth historical pieces on those who built the game that we love today. So win, lose or draw, make sure you subscribe before the full-time whistle blows.